Yo, windows down, it's Friday. Rudy Campos Jr., Derek Gervin, the sports answer. Let's ride. It's the Friday drive home, San Antonio flow. Rudy and Derek live on YouTube. Here we go, streaming online, podcast wherever you roam. NBA, NFL, Spurs, and hot takes. We on the zone. Powered by Salem, surround San Antonio.
Hey, what is up, everybody? This is the Friday Night Drive, and just an FYI, this is not live. It's going to show that it's live, but we're not live. This is a pre-recorded edition of the Friday Night Drive. Unfortunately, hey, school's back in session. My little girl's playing volleyball, so there's going to be some shows we're going to be doing some recordings for you, but nonetheless, we are going to provide you with the content that you love here on the Sports Answer. This is the Friday Drive. It's going to be Rudy Campos Jr., which is myself. Derek Irvin is off today, but we do have a very special guest. But before we get into our special guest, do not forget Navarro Roofing. It's a family-owned and operated business since 1968. 210-680-5070. That is Navarro Roofing. They work with insurances. They're going to do it right the first time. You want to call them today if you need roofing repairs. We are in San Antonio. We get a ton of hailstorms. So Navarro Roofing is definitely the number one choice for you on all of your roofing needs. And Salem Surround. You are in the Salem Surround Studios. 210-526-3635. Call them today for all your digital and marketing needs. That is Salem Surround. Both are proud sponsors of us here on the Sports Answer. What do we got today? Well, Derek's not here, so he promised me, he made me make him a promise that we're not going to talk NFL today because he wants to get into his division by division breakdown. We're going to give you all the winners. We're going to do that next Friday on the Friday Night Drive. What do we got? We got a bunch of Spurs happenings that have happened today, this week, actually. You've got Project Marvel, the vote that went the wrong way for the mayor. You've seen some backlash from local San Antonio residents, including one literally telling the mayor at City Hall, hey, we should redo this whole mayor thing and revote on the mayor situation. You've got Victor Wembanyama back on the court for Team France and exhibition stink up. Can we maybe go with that route right there? Yeah, we can maybe go that route. Also, Bleacher Report. Are you trying to get clicks or something? A lot of that was covered on this morning's edition of Spurs In Focus with myself and Jeff Garcia, which you can catch on Spurs In Focus on YouTube as well as on Answer Now TV. Plus, we're going to end the show with a little bit of LeBron James talk. We know how much you guys love LeBron James. Exactly. You know how much you guys love LeBron James. We're going to do a little bit of LeBron James talk as Today in Sports company let a list out and makes you think and makes you wonder, but we're not going to keep anybody wondering anymore here. We're going to bring on our guest. It is the one and the only, we don't have intro music. We can't give him intro music because then we'll get blasted on YouTube. So how about we just do the real quick.
Say his name and he appears.
And that would be Mr. Jeff Garcia. You say his name and he appears.
I literally appeared.
Yeah. Jeff, welcome to the Friday Night Drive of the Sports Answer, man. What have you been up to? You've had a lot of Spurs stuff coming up recently.
You know, I thought it was supposed to be the off season, but it's not the off season. It's off the court news. We got, I guess, now on the court news with Wemby playing with Team France right now. And of course, just little other news and notes for the Spurs, you know, from you got, you know, the dog park. I mean, it's how dry it's been. The dog park that the Spurs run is reopening after the tornadoes. You have NBA 2K player ratings from the Spurs. Wemby, number 2 overall. Castle. We talked about this earlier today on Spurs In Focus. Castle was kind of like, okay, I love my rating, but I don't like this, and I don't like that, and I don't like this. So, you know, and there's stuff to come around. But look, the lights at the end of the tunnel already. The NBA preseason, offseason is slowly closing down, but still got about a month-ish to go still before that happens ish.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, I think they report in late September.
Then
you've got preseason starting early, isn't it late September, early October? Late September, because then the season starts at the end of October. So man, basketball, it just feels like the
It
Spurs lost
never
the
ends.
title.
I know. It feels like it never ends.
Feels like we were talking about this 2 weeks ago, how they sucked it up on the court, man, and against the Knicks, and now we're talking about them coming back on the court.
It's all De'Aaron Fox's fault, right, Rudy?
Oh God, you know what? I'm not even going to comment. Let's get into the cheeseman, Jeff.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs chisme. Dime, por favor.
All right, it is Cheesemate time, and it's going to be all Spurs Cheesemate for a while. Before you get me on my De'Aaron Fox rant here that you and I discussed on Spurs in Focus, and before we talk about last night's Victor Wembanyama back on the court appearance where he literally stunk it up again, man. I mean, is it finals? I don't know. Is the finals continuing? We're going to have to get into that here in a little bit.
Too much rugby he's playing. Banged him up too much.
Probably the rugby play. We got Project Marvel on the screen here now.
Oh, yes. Project
So let's take it back a few days, man. Beginning of the week, Mara Jones Ortiz decided, hey, we need to take a vote for city council. If she got 5 plus her, that would have been a 6-5 vote in favor of having the city of San Antonio vote again on money towards Project Marvel, this and that. Didn't go her way. The final vote was 6-5. You did have 4 other people that were siding with her. And San Antonio rejoiced. There's no more that she can do. I think she's going to try to do something with the term sheet. She might try to pull a little bit of something on the term sheet part. But nonetheless, Project Marvel is a go. But when I had time to think about this, Jeff, it made me think, okay, I've got to talk to Jeff. And we were going to get you on the show regardless this week. So she lost the vote. But did it not seem that most residents of San Antonio at these meetings, and I know they were held at senior centers and stuff, but didn't it feel like most residents really wanted to do another vote?
Well, if you could just go by the final vote at city council, 6-5, it was close. It really was close. All she had to do was convince one other, and we could be having a whole different conversation right now. Yeah. So I think based on that, if the city, the reps that voted in favor of a vote proved anything, is the bulk of the citizens in San Antonio, wanted this vote. And you can even look further back when the 2025 vote happened to go ahead and go with Project Marvel. It wasn't a landslide. It was like 52% for and 48% against. Yeah. So it was still close. And I think that may have fueled her, Mayor Jones, to maybe push for this vote. Like, hey, look how close I was. If I could just get it again. And her argument was, well, the county residents voted. Now let the city residents vote. So she really splitting hairs there. And it's like I told you before on Spurs in Focus or another episode. I get what she's trying to get at. It's like I want this expensive Skeletor figure, right? It's the OG figure, mint in box, but it costs $5,000. Well, should I spend those $5,000 on a figure that's just going to sit there, or should I use that to pay down some credit cards, pay my car balance off, my car loan balance off? I get that's what she's trying to get at. But the point is at that point, things are already in motion already. As you see on the map there, the Texas Institute of Cultures is pretty much no longer there. It's pretty much, if you use this as a reference, it's where the arena is, as you see on your screen right now. Yeah. By the way, everybody, this is just a concept. This is not what it's going to look like. Okay, this is just a concept. And I can tell you right now, everybody knows this. You see that land bridge that connects the dome to the arena? That's not going to happen. That ain't going to happen. See that hotel there? That ain't going to happen.
The Alamo Dome is not going to get the upgrade that it's.
Although if they go that upgrade, that's pretty awesome looking.
That would make the Alamo Dome very appealing to a lot of places.
Yes. Yeah. But basically, I think that was her last gasp at something to shake out in her favor. You mentioned the term sheet. She put out a press release saying, hey, we'll never give up trying to rep the city of San Antonio, the residents, for their money, and she's saying all the right things. But if you dig deeper, she brought up the term sheet. Yeah. So I think that she's going to attack next, and then that's where you could see some shenanigans go from her. But listen, majority of Spurs fans did applaud it that the vote did not happen, if that makes sense. and away we go. It was to the point, Rudy, where RC Buford had to release a statement. He just reaffirming the commitment to San Antonio. That's how crazy it got.
It got super crazy. And, it made me, like I said, it was kind of weird because if you look at the 6 people that voted to keep Project Marvel going, wasn't there one of them that got a little bit of backlash because the residents in their district wanted to have a vote on Project Marvel again? So I saw
District 3 Villa Gran.
Yeah, so I think one of them, the councilmen and the councilwomen were getting some backlash from residents because they felt like they weren't getting heard.
Yeah.
I think one of them voted against Project Marvel, but their residents wanted Project Marvel. Then you had some people and the residents were like, well, we wanted to vote and you voted against or for it. So it just seemed like this whole thing is a big disarray and it's just causing a lot of issues. And I think RC Buford and even Sean Elliott kind of maybe said a little bit, in that sense of there shouldn't be this many issues. I mean, the Spurs are here. Yeah. We bring in this much money for San Antonio, and you're coming off of an NBA Finals run too. So, I mean, there should be no question as to why we deserve a new arena. And oh, by the way, we're fitting the bill for majority of it. So San Antonio doesn't really have to pay for anything. Biggest end of the day question was this, and we talked about it on Spurs In Focus, which you guys can go back on Spurs In Focus on YouTube and on Answer Now TV. You can watch them there. But the thing I always said was she plays so much into the property tax part, But again, Project Marvel was never to be funded by property tax increase by the city of San Antonio as far as residents go. This is all money that was coming in from the state that has to be used for this. I don't know if Mayor Ortiz can differentiate oranges and apples, Jeff.
Yeah. And it was very clear that the money from the state cannot be used towards, street improvements, building improvements. It was just for complexes, sports complex, venues, fixing up stadiums, use it or lose it, or another city can get it. Like, Austin can dip into that. Yeah. Or maybe Dallas or Houston. So basically, you see the money that from the state is going to go to what you see on your screen. Again, the concept, the idea will go to this. You see on your screen. But listen, you're right. It's a sweetheart of a deal. The Spurs, they're doing their contribution. They're going to cover cost overages. And people forget about this. They're also committing millions of dollars to just community outreach projects. And that gets lost in the shuffle too. Also, too, reaffirming their commitment to San Antonio, for them to go to these city council meetings and plead their case tells you how much they want to stay in San Antonio. But Rudy, I got to ask you, can you imagine if the vote went her way? Do you think maybe Spurs ownership is thinking like, maybe San Antonio is not it for us anymore?
That's a big question. We thought we would never see the Seattle Supersonics leave Seattle, and they did.
Yeah,
that was over a new arena. We see currently what's going on in Portland with their owner.
Yeah,
I mean, there's potential that Portland could lose the Trailblazers. So if you were to tell me there's no way San Antonio could lose the Spurs, I probably would call you a liar. I think that if this arena was never to go through, and I still think if there's going to be problems with it and they don't get building right away because of whatever, the Spurs could potentially look to go other places. I mean, I really don't think they would go to Austin. I mean, there's really no room in Austin to go anywhere there. I don't care if they redid the Moody Center or whatever. There's really no space in Austin for them to go. It'd have to be on the outskirts of Austin. But again, you're looking at Seattle, potentially Las Vegas, who already has two. St. Louis and Vegas has two of our former teams from San Antonio in the Rampage and the Stars. So, I mean, St. Louis is another one. There's a lot of cities that could use an NBA team that are dying. And what better NBA team to get than a team that just came off of an NBA Finals run?
Yeah, and then it has a guy named Victor Wembanyama already built into it. So,
what are the chances of it happening? I think it's zero.
I think it's zero. Well, I'll never say zero. I'll say 2%. How's that? You never know. Again, I never thought the Sonics would leave. They left.
I'd go probably 0.5%. I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee that they won't leave. But if they do leave, how quickly is Mayor Jones overthrown?
I think the calls for her position is immediately. Immediately. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, because remember, everybody, we for those that live in San Antonio, this is just year one of her tenure.
Yeah.
This is just year one. It's got a few more years to go. Part of me thinks that I think down the road, whether it's Spurs or not Spurs, I think she could be up for possibly replacement, what do you call it, impeachment, because the history that we heard out of her office is, fighting against the Spurs, like her PR staff just quitting left and right. I mean, this like a turn, accusations of cussing and then getting into heated discussions with her colleagues. So, it looks like it's a mess there. But look, at the end of the day, the vote to revote did not happen, thankfully, and we push forward. I am just bracing for the next nuanced stunt that she's going to do. Well, I'm reading the bylaws of this bonds or these term sheets, and I don't think this is good. We need to have a relook at the term sheet, something like that. I'm bracing for another wrench in the machine to happen.
I think that term sheet's going to really be a problem. I don't think she's just going to say, "Oh, okay, we're going to go ahead with this term sheet," and all. She's going to find something to delay it, and I think. I mean, the Institute of Texas Culture is already gone. I mean, that's been demolished or been moved, I think. So that's already done. But that's the problem, man. You've got already construction going on downtown. You're already getting in preparations for everything. To delay this, do you think that throws a wrench in RC Buford and the Spurs in general? Because they're probably thinking we can get this in 2030, I think is what it was, 2031.
I think so, yeah.
Right around there.
I think at this point, the odds are stacked against her for something to derail all this. I mean, it would have to be something egregious, like the Spurs renege on some money, or they renege on some other part of their commitment. It'll be something like that level to happen. So I think we're at the point, we're getting close to the point of no return for her. I do agree with you that term sheet discussion that she's going to have with everybody else on the council is going to be the next stab at making something just slow. But I mean, everything's moving forward right now. I live downtown. I can see it. Construction, that area, the iconic building of the Institute of Cultures is gone. Yeah. So it's happening, man. It's happening.
That probably, and even if it's happening, I know, I mean, here's the scary part, and I think we're going to move on a little bit here, but here's the scary part I see. She had 4 other people alongside her, one away from really derailing this entire project.
Close. And that makes me nervous. That tells me that maybe San Antonio is really not on board on all this.
And that's where it comes to the citizens. Like, if the citizens really wanted another vote, but your councilman said, I'm not listening, because that was one of the complaints. You had people saying, you don't listen to us. We call your office. We write emails. You're not returning our calls. You're not doing anything like that. You're not listening to us. Do you think just one councilman is doing that? No, every council person is probably doing that. They are voting based off of their own feelings. If they want the Spurs here, they're voting this way. If they don't want the Spurs here, they're voting this way. They're not listening to the city of San Antonio. And I think, truthfully, Jeff, if the city of San Antonio was able to re-vote on this, I don't see it passing.
Thankfully, that's not going to happen, Rudy.
Thankfully not. No, we're trying to paint a picture here of the fact that, let's put it this way, the picture that I'm painting is this. Monday happened, 6-5, we're good. It's going to go on. But there's still that little bit of doubt in people's head, because she's not the type of person just to quit. She's not. And that's, I think if she gains any more momentum, could she flip somebody else on that other side? And then
I don't know. I mean, if anything, maybe District 3, because those residents of District 3, which is on the south side, I believe. Yeah. They were not happy. You can hear it in the chaos, like, you sided with so and so and so and so, and you sided with them. That's our money. That's all you kept on hearing.
Yeah.
So, wild.
It got super wild, man. That's Project Marvel for you. And then, we talked about it mainly because I mean, it's a huge topic, not only for the San Antonio Spurs, but for the city of San Antonio, because you're talking about a city that's the seventh largest city in America. It's a growing city. You're starting to talk about annexing all the way up to Schertz and Cibolo. You're talking about New Braunfels, it being like a Dallas and Fort Worth type thing where it's just a big old metroplex between here and Austin now.
Yeah.
So now you're talking, if you run the Spurs out, what are the chances of you ever getting another professional team?
Slim to none, man. Slim.
Exactly. Slim to none. So this has big repercussions, not just for the Spurs, but for any team wanting to come back in to San Antonio. And that is Project Marvel Talk. Talking to Jeff Garcia, host of Spurs In Focus. You can follow him on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Of course, you see my Twitter handle, and you can get me at the Sports Answer. Derek Gerwin will be back next week. Again, shout out to Navarro Roofing and Salem Surround. You think the Cheeseman is over? It's really not over.
No, it's not over.
A ton of Cheeseman. We got Bleacher Report. Your buddies over at Bleacher Report, Jeff. I'm going to call them your buddies over at Bleacher Report, because why are they Jeff's buddies? Well, they are Jeff's buddies because they decided, hey, San Antonio Spurs, one of the best teams last year.
Yeah.
Coming off of a finals run, 62-20 to end the season. Oh, but wait, they're going to be a worse team this year than they were last year, because they didn't add anybody. No, they didn't add anybody. They went and added Billy Donovan, who's a nobody. They went and added Tobias Harris, who he doesn't have any type of success in the NBA whatsoever. No, nothing because of that. They gave him the worst record or a worst performance this year because of De'Aaron Fox, a guy who's been ridiculed, who's been picked on, who's been bad-mouthed, everything. And I've defended De'Aaron on the Sports Answer, on Spurs In Focus, but I've also called him out when he's had bad games. And to say that because De'Aaron Fox is the starter this year, they're going to be a bad team. Well, Jeff, make me remember something. You know how in Wayne's World, when they do that, to go back in time. Remind me, they won 62 games with De'Aaron Fox in the starting lineup.
They did.
So how is De'Aaron Fox in the starting lineup making them a bad team next year?
It all came down to one series. Of course, it was the ultimate series. But in that series, you saw De'Aaron Fox do a lot of boneheaded moves, from not killing the clock, suspect defense. But you saw the most consistent Spur was not Wemby. It was a rookie named Dylan Harper. And it was Dylan Harper that was giving the Knicks the most fits on the court. It wasn't Fox. It wasn't Wemby. It wasn't Vassell. It was Harper. So you're seeing all that come together like, oh, my goodness. Look at De'Aaron Fox. He's wet in the bed right now. But look at Harper. He's the one keeping the Knicks on their heels. Makes sense to flip it. And guess what? The Spurs will be better. So that's the train of thought. And you can see it on your screen, everybody. Literally, the Bleacher Report article saying if the Spurs announce tomorrow that De'Aaron Fox will be the sixth man and Harper is the starting guard, well, that changes everything. They're one of the best teams now. So, and look, it's not just Bleacher Report, Rudy. Spurs fans, the majority of them, they're hating on Fox right now. Yeah, I've seen messages on social media of saying, "Oh, he needs to redeem himself." The way he can redeem himself is going back to the finals and winning the finals. Like, and it's all on him. So, but I'll tell you this much, so Rudy, for A, Harper openly said this offseason he's fine coming off the bench. B, and you brought up a good point on the show on Spurs In Focus earlier today when you said Fox really hasn't had a full healthy season with this team. And I think that's very key.
Yeah. He hasn't had an offseason with this team.
Yeah.
He was injured last offseason. This year, he's finally getting to work with the guys in the summer. So that is something to keep in mind. Spurs fans in general, I mean, come on, man. Like I told you earlier on Spurs In Focus, if they lose opening night against Oklahoma City, San Antonio is going to burn down. They're going to want to trade every player on the roster. Dylan Harper, I mean, game one, they're 0-1. Forget it. The sky is falling. That's the way Spurs fans operate. But I also understand you want Dylan Harper in the starting lineup. But keep in mind, you got a team that won 62 games with Dylan Harper accepting a 6-man role. And at that, he wasn't even the 6th man. Keldon Johnson was more of the 6th man.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you're putting Dylan Harper in a 6-man role where he's going to still get maybe 30, 32 minutes a game, I don't care. Dylan probably doesn't care if he's coming off the bench or starting. If he's getting 32 minutes a game and being one of the high minute guys on the team, I think he's going to be pretty happy with it. So I don't see any reason why fans or any media source out there that says they're going to be bad with De'Aaron Fox as starting point guard. They just won 62 damn games. How much worse can they be? I mean, yeah, if you're going to say they're going to be worse because it's going to be tougher to win 60 games this year, I will give you that. But look at the key word. For now, the Spurs could still hit 60 wins.
Yeah.
So even Bleacher Report is doubting themselves. Well, if Dylan Harper starts, they win 60.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they could still win 60 with De'Aaron Fox. I mean,
you're right. Even if they flip the roles or they stay the same next season, it's still a tougher. Well, let me rephrase that. These are going to be tougher in just the NBA and the Western Conference. Now, I still believe it's just a 2-team race at the end of the day between Thunder and Spurs. And I know there's Denver out there. I know the Lakers, despite losing LeBron, they did add some key pieces. I mean, you forget they added Walker Kessler to the squad.
Yeah,
it's a big pickup there. Luka's going to be free to do what he has to do now, not have to worry about being the co-captain, if you will. But the point is that the Spurs have a bigger target on their back.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest lessons they learned is rest. I can see them maybe utilizing the load management more often than not. And 3, I think we forget about this too. I get your reaction on this. The anti-tanking rules. So technically, the Spurs are going to get every team's best shot.
Yeah.
And then you got those teams are starting on the rise. They're not there yet, but they could give the Spurs some L's along the way during the regular season. Your Portlands, your Utah, Houston. There's a part in Minnesota we forget about. I don't know if the Pelicans on paper seem they might be good, not great, but decent.
Yeah.
So, and then Dallas is on the rise. So we got a bunch of these teams on the rise that could just be very pesky. And look, I think if you're to tell me during the regular season, like, oh, well, the Portland Trailblazers beat the Spurs twice already this season, I'll be all right. Sure, Denny, Advia, John Morant, that crew out there. And, I wonder if they're also hitting themselves thinking like, man, we had the Spurs down 20 plus in 2 consecutive games and we blew it in the first round. So,
yeah, that's true. And real quick, before we get to the tanky thing, I want to remind everybody, we are seeing a live edition of the Friday Night Drive, but we are not live. This is a pre-recorded show running live on Answer Now TV. So if you are leaving comments, we're not ignoring you. We're just not able to play them because we're technically pre-recorded this time. We'll be live next week again, but we are with Jeff Garcia here from Spurs In Focus. And you mentioned the anti-tanking rules being a big key. The Spurs have a target on their back. They're going to have a target on their back. I mean, you're coming off of a finals run. You should have won an NBA title last season. There's no doubt about that, and everybody believes that. But the anti-tanking rule, the teams that were bad, the worst team in the NBA is not going to get the best chances for, the number 1 pick. So, of course, you have a whole lot more to play for. And there could be a difference. So, think about it. If you're sitting in a 3-way tie for last in the league and you're playing San Antonio in the last 5 games of the season, you don't want to finish last. So, of course, you're going to play as hard as you can to get to a second or third worst because those have better odds at getting a number 1 pick. Right. And, that to me, I don't like the whole tanking thing. I wasn't a fan of the anti-tanking rule because if you're bad, you're just bad on paper. You need all the help you can get. But I also like it because it does bring more competition back to the league where you don't want to finish dead last. Nobody wants to finish dead last. So you're going to get the best out of these teams that aren't quite there just yet. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to play a huge part. The Eastern Conference got ridiculously good. It's more balanced in the Eastern Conference. The Western Conference, I would say got a little bit lighter this past off season.
Rudy, do you expect the Western Conference to be kind of boring this year?
If you don't like basketball, yeah, probably. I
It
mean,
might be a little boring. The West, I think the East is going to be war. Yeah, the East is going to be great, but
I
the
mean,
West, I just think like
it's
Thunder
Spurs, it's
Spurs are going to be
OKC.
clobbering teams, and that's about it.
Well, if DeMar DeRozan is going to Denver, because remember, Denver just
huge.
traded Peyton
Yeah,
Watson.
that's huge. Yeah.
I said earlier on Spurs in Focus that Peyton Watson gone from Denver is going to hurt them a lot. But then you got the rumors of DeMar DeRozan going there. Okay, so that adds scoring that they need. I think that helps Denver out there. Minnesota, I'm still not sold on Minnesota. I don't care what Anthony Edwards says. I'm still not sold on Minnesota because of their front court that they need to get there. But of course, you mentioned Utah. Utah's on the rise. They've got a really nice team in Utah. The Lakers, minus LeBron, is positive for them. They got better by moving, right, letting LeBron go. So I think the Lakers are going to be good. Dallas is getting Kyrie Irving back. So that's going to be another improved team there. Houston might have taken a step back by not really doing much in the offseason. We'll see how they go. Phoenix, as not good as Phoenix is, I mean, we've seen Devin Booker go on streaks where he's killed teams before. So I think the West is going to be more, it's not going to be boring. It's just going to be probably dominated one side. But what I love about it is you're going to have, 5 through 10 fighting and jogging for position all season long. I mean, I think for me, it's probably going to be Spurs, Thunder, Denver, and then either Minnesota or LA, the Lakers, one of those two teams in the top 4. So that I think the West is going to be fun. It's just probably not going to be must-see TV every single night. Considering it's really top heavy. But I mean, Spurs' chances next year, I almost would have to give them the best chance to win the title. I mean, I don't know. That's where I don't get it. Bleacher Report is saying they're going to be worse next year. I would love to understand why the thought process of it's just the Aaron Fox is the reason why they're going to be worse after they got to the NBA Finals with the Aaron Fox.
Well, as I told you earlier on my shows in Focus, I'm buying that the Spurs would be worse record-wise, but not because of the reasons why they're giving. I have the other things. I told you the target, low management, resting players, I guess maybe a little more often than not, and getting the other team's best punch. I think maybe some of the travel may catch up to them because they got 3 Austin games and then 2 international games. Then they got the rodeo road trip, which is brutal this year. And so I don't know, that could be a factor too. And then, if they're smart, they'll try to lock up a high seed as fast as they can and take maybe the last 3 or 4 games off, quote unquote, before the playoffs start. But we'll see. And but I'm thinking about this Spurs team, and at the end of the day, if you're to tell me, they're going to finish about 59, 60 wins, 58, I'd be all right. I wouldn't be surprised, Rudy.
Yeah, I like them at around 58, 59 wins this year. I think one team can get to 60 this year. And I think it's either San Antonio or OKC that can get to 60 wins, but I don't see anybody in the Eastern Conference getting 60. They're just too loaded in the Eastern Conference. I mean, they're going to be battling all year, so I can't see anybody in the Eastern Conference getting to 60 wins. But again, on the Western Conference, I think one team, either San Antonio or OKC, could easily get to 60 wins if they really try. But again, 59, 58 wins would be, absolutely perfect to me. But, I know what you said about the time management part. That's the thing is like with Wemby, he only playing 29 minutes a game last year. It's going to hurt him if he continues to play 29 games or 29 minutes, a game. It's going to hurt him on the MVP stats unless he just balls out in those 29 minutes. But then I start to think again, you're going to play him minimal minutes in the regular season to rest him for the playoffs, yet you saw how winded he got when he hit that 35-minute mark, 32-minute mark. So is it bad to rest him during the regular season or get him to that 32 minutes a game, maybe give him more? So let's do the other way. Instead of him he gets to 65 games, so he qualifies for his awards. But in those 65 games, 68 games, you're playing him 31 minutes, but you give him more nights off. What do you think of that? Because I would rather do that than 78 games with 28 minutes a night.
You see, I would do less minutes throughout the season.
It's more games, though.
I understand that, but man, there's part of me I don't want him to get too rusty. I know we're talking about it in a bit, but we saw in this first exhibition game versus Serbia, he was showing a lot of rust.
Yeah.
I think it's pick your poison, man. You just need him ready to go at playoff time. And so maybe you can meet in the middle, like do your plan, but start scaling it back in the last month of the NBA season. Again, depending on where they're at, if they're in a dogfight with the Thunder for the number 1 seed, well, then you got no choice. You don't want home court advantage. But if they've already separated themselves from the pack, or the Thunder separated from the pack, then call it a day. I think we have to just wait to see how they are in that last month-ish of the season, because home court advantage is going to be huge. It was huge for the Spurs this year until the finals. Yeah. Ticket sales, Knicks fans invading. But the point is that it just depends. Like I said, if they're in a fight for number 1, he's going to have to play minutes. But if they already took it and they're running away with it, or the Thunder run away with it, or maybe Denver's running away with it, or who knows? Or maybe the best they can do is number 3 seed. Then I think that changes everything. But I need to see him raring to go for the playoffs.
So let me play
scaling back minutes. So be it.
Let me play devil's advocate here for you. So considering that, the Spurs probably need to get the number 1 seed in their Western Conference. I think that's ideally. Number 2 is good. Number 3 is okay. Considering how the league is balancing out more now, do you think that, and I'm playing big time devil's advocate here, because of the league being balanced out, a lot of these games are going to be tougher. No more tanking and all that, so teams are going to play tough. You're probably going to have more closer games than you are this year than you did previous years. So here's the thing. What if you're forced to play him 30-plus minutes a night because you have to get these victories? So
then you're forced.
So then you go back to, okay, do we play you the 34 minutes in a game for 72 games or 75 games or whatever, give you a few nights of rest? And they have a lot of rest this year. They got a lot of rest.
Yeah, they got a lot of days off in between.
He could be good for it. But you probably, if these games are getting close, Jeff, 34 minutes a night might have to be something he needs to do. So then what happens in the playoffs? I mean, you're kind of overextending him in the regular season to guarantee a win total. You're going to hurt him in the playoffs. So this is why we've said, Derek and I have said many times, we would be shocked if he got to a 10-year career. We really would be shocked. I mean, you can't baby him until the playoffs, because you saw how winded he was when you played him excruciating amount of minutes. But then you don't want to play him 34, 33 plus minutes a game during the regular season, because then he'll be tired in the playoffs and maybe overextended in the playoffs. Something's got to give, dude.
Like, he's still young. The blood clot issues are a thing of the past. They're monitoring it. He added size.
He did.
He's been adding size, so they may build more wear and tear on him. And I think that's just natural. He's still a kid. He's still going to fill out his body. He's going to take we saw the punishment he took in the playoffs. To the point where he elbowed Naz Reid.
Yeah.
So that ain't going to stop. And that's why I look for the Spurs to get smart. You got a rookie, Reid, play him. He's a big. You got Cornette, play him. And that's what was frustrating during the playoff run, especially in the finals, where you had 2 quality bigs and you didn't use them. You just give them a 5-minute breather. You can't tell me Plumlee could have got out there and just given you 5 minutes. Cornette, Olynyk could have given you just 8-10 minutes. And I think you have to get really creative with him and how you manage him with backup bigs. low management days. Obviously, I think how many they're afforded to miss? Like 6, I think, and then they're not qualified for awards.
So they have to play 65 games.
65 games, that's right. Yeah.
I think it's 65 games what they have to play. So they're able to miss, 17 games? So they're able to miss. So they can miss some time, but I don't know if the rules differentiate when it comes to rest. Like, I think you have to have a legitimate injury. Again, I don't know for a fact on that. I have to go read that part of the rule book again, but I know it's 65 games is what they've got to go at least to qualify for awards. But you mentioned the big guys. I mean, you're not exactly – you go from Kelly Olynyk, Bismack Biyombo, and Plumlee to – and Luke Cornett as well, to Cornett, and then Terrace Reed Jr., who's a rookie. And then basically after that, it's Keldon Johnson and Tobias Harris.
Bryant, I guess.
I mean, Carter's more of a 3, but then you go Keldon and Tobias Harris. I got to ask a question here. Now, again, don't kill me on comments, but did the Spurs progressively get worse on the front court?
And I think they may have. They definitely took a step back because Cornett and Wemby, they're your two-headed big men right there, but it's a drop-off after that. So I guess Tobias, I don't know, Tobias coming up playing a small 5. I know Carter was forced to.
And Carter cannot do it, man.
But he cannot do it, though.
I wouldn't put him there.
Tobias could. I mean, Reed is going to – I think you're going to have to give some time to Reed. I think you're going to have to.
Now, when Quaitons comes in, I think he's – to me, he's a way better prospect right now. You're right about Terrace Reed. He's going to have to get some minutes, but if we couldn't – I mean, if you couldn't give veteran minutes.
Yeah, I know, right?
Veterans last year.
Plumlee, Olynyk, guys have deep playoff runs. He didn't give them burn Mitch Johnson.
What do you do with Terrace Reed? I mean,
I'm giving him 10 to 12 minutes.
You think they make another signing?
I think so. Yeah, there's still, I think it's a roster spot or 2 open still. So here's the thing, too. We can't forget Mitch Johnson's not Popovich. He's already proven and shown that he'll play rookies even in pressure games like the NBA Finals, Carter Bryant. So he will go to guys who have minimal experience, as we saw last season.
That's a great point. We did see that he's not Pop. Pop never really liked to play rookies at all. So I do get the Terrace Reed thing, but man, I look at if Victor or Luke Cornett end up going down with injury and are out for a significant time, season is going to be hard to get it to 60 wins. It's going to be hard to make a nice little playoff run. I think they got to go out and maybe sign another big. It's almost like you need the front court help.
Yeah.
I don't see any other way around it.
Unless so Bleacher Report comes back sooner than expected.
No, dude, I think he's going to be out for the season. I don't see him coming back this season. I think he starts fresh next season. But Bleacher Report, they need to click. They want to clickbait everybody. They're not as good as Spurs In Focus, so they have to make up stuff to get everybody to go to their page. Yeah, to get the clicks in there. So they're just going to say, why not? Spurs are worse. That's the talking right there. Jeff Garcia again. Shout out to Navarro Roofing and Salem Surround. We got one more Spurs Cheeseman topic. Then we're going to take our only break of the show. First half will be done. We'll come back with the second half. Second half, we like to pick and nitpick at LeBron James from here and there. So we're going to do a little bit more. LeBron James. We're going to do a little bit of LeBron James talk because it's not my list. And people know I'm not a big LeBron fan. I respect the hell out of his game. I know that he's one of the best players to ever play the game. But top 10 wise, a group does not have him in their top 10. Shocking. But what's even more shocking? What's even more shocking is the big man is back on the court last night against Serbia. Exhibition game, Team France, Team Serbia, Joker versus Wemby. Joker was going to Joker, and Wemby was going to what? He didn't really do much yesterday, Jeff. 24 minutes, almost 25 minutes that he did play under his season average of 29 minutes. Ended up scoring 10 points, shot, I think, what was it, like 17% from 38%. Beyond the arc?
Oh, beyond the arc, yeah.
Yeah, 38% overall. I mean, not a Wemby-esque type game. Looked pretty rough out there for him. Sports question, Are we concerned with this exhibition game?
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. He had 6 turnovers, so I don't know if you caught that. Wemby had 6
I
turnovers.
saw that. Yeah.
No, I'm not worried about it. It's just an exhibition game. They have one more exhibition game against Serbia again on the 23rd, so in a couple days, and then the real deal begins. I think they just need to get some chemistry down. Look, Serbia's good, and I know Joker's there, but they got some quality players around them. And credit to the Team France. They were kind of losing for a chunk of the game, but they came back, and they were always within striking distance, as you saw at the final score. But once they get it together and they get going and get some flow going, I mean, that's a loaded team. It's a Wemby, it's Gobert, it's Fournier, it's the kid from Sacramento, Maxime. I can't pronounce his last name.
Rayno.
Thank you so much. Yeah, there's that guy. They're a loaded team. They have experience. This team won silver in the Paris games, so they got close, and it took a Curry going nuclear to save Team USA. It's what it took.
I still think that was a BS Olympics, man. I think France should have won that game.
Hey, I mean, they didn't play defense on Curry.
No, they didn't. And even this French team doesn't have everybody because you're still missing who Yabusele didn't play. So, I mean, you still got a couple of guys that are missing from this French national team. You're right. I think they're going to be good. I was a little concerned with Wemby getting back on the court, not to the point where I'm freaking out, but he looked really rusty out there.
Oh,
he looked, and this picture kind of shows a lot, Jeff. He looks like he gained another inch.
No, don't believe that stuff. It's fake. It's fake. He's the same height.
Do you really think he didn't gain anything?
No, I think gaining size just got bigger, but that's about it.
So, and I'm glad you brought that up because that was my next point. You being the He-Man physique that you have because you work out every single minute of the day. Truth fact, when Jeff is working, he's still lifting weights at the same time. When you gain muscle, does it make you look bigger, like taller?
No,
it doesn't.
No, I remember my college days. I put on pounds of muscles, and you lose. Well, it's different. I'm sorry, it's different. I'm short. I'm not 7'5" or whatever. So it's gonna look bigger for me. So I'm more compact. So if I put weight on or muscle size, I look like a little walking boulder here. I remember in college I didn't have a neck. I used to walk like this. This is walk like this.
Oh, wow.
On campus too, and I had friends of mine saying like, "Dude, you've gotten huge." So it's different for me. Wemby, if he puts on size, he'll look good. But I think he's going to need to add size because of the punishment he's going to be taking as his NBA career continues. He's going to get pushed around a lot, and we saw already he wants to push back. Here's the thing, though. I don't see him taller. I mean, we saw the last time Team France were together, him and Gobert were joking around. If there's that other view of them side by side in front, they show a picture of Wemby just towering over Gobert, right? But then somebody took a picture of Team France from their back, and you see Gobert bending down on purpose to give the illusion of that. And also, too, it looks like maybe in this photo, Wemby's standing closer to the camera.
I have no idea. Could be trick photography.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not buying it that he grew, though. I mean, because wouldn't that lend to your theory that he won't have a long pro career? Because if he's reaching over 6'6", 7'6", 7'7" area, I mean that
you get into Sean Bradley, George Muresan, those guys, and we saw their careers not very long at all. But could be different for Wemby. You know, we all hope that Wemby does go 10 plus years in the league. I know we kind of hit a nerve when we said that this would probably be his only extension that he'll sign because we can't see him going longer than another extension, which we hope we're wrong. I mean, but again, NBA history has proven and facts show that players his size, unless you're Mark Eaton or Rudy Gobert, I mean, two guys that Rudy Gobert is not, extending himself the way Wemby was. And Mark Eaton was just a giant in the paint. I mean, he wasn't overextending himself anywhere on the court. So Wemby does a lot more than those two guys and other guys of his size. He's doing a whole lot more. So That's why we say per NBA history and facts, his career is probably 10 years at the most. But we do hope it does go a little bit further than 10 years at least.
And let's not forget too, he wants to do it all on the court. Those other guys,
Exactly.
they didn't. Yao Ming was just plotting
He was
in the
a
middle.
post player, yeah.
Yeah, and that's all he did. Wemby wants to run and gun and hit the three and play in the perimeter, play inside, but run the point, be a facilitator, block some shots, rebound. He wants to do it all, and I think it could be a toll on him.
Man, I hope you and myself and Derek are wrong. And like I said, I hope he has a long, brilliant career for San Antonio. But does that play into the point that Derek has made a lot? Because I've even said it too. Does it play to the point that Dylan Harper is more of the future than Wemby is?
Potentially, yes.
Because we just don't know how long Wemby will play.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still too soon to tell. Wemby's just going into year 4 now? My God, I can't believe we're already going to be in year 4 with Wemby. It's wild.
Year
Time
4
flies. But I think whenever they do move from De'Aaron Fox, and no, I'm not taking a shot at Fox because we know De'Aaron Fox is more medium term. Harper is long term with this roster. So I think when that transition happens, maybe that can extend them out. And that's why I think it's important for these guys around him to ball out and play. Wemby said he doesn't care if he doesn't score at all, as long as the team wins.
Yeah.
I know all players say that. I get that, But I think for Wemby, it means a lot because that means he's not doing much on the court. And if he can get help from other people, his teammates, that could extend his career out. But I don't know, Rudy. I think that question is a little too soon to ask. Do I think that Harper is the future? Of course. But here's a wrinkle in all this.
Sure.
The Spurs are going to have to face what the Thunder have faced this offseason, and that's paying people out and letting people go to free up money. Lou Dort's gone. We even saw it earlier. Remember when Harden and Durant and Westbrook were together, and they decided to let Harden walk. I think the Spurs are going to have to they're going to reach that point eventually. So that's where I say, that's when you might see Fox get dealt or traded. Maybe Keldon is gone. I mean, I never thought they would trade Lou Dort. He's a kind of a glue guy, or let him go or traded. I think they traded him.
Yeah, traded to Atlanta.
Here we know. Here we are. They traded him.
Well,
so
I think Wemby
they're going to have to face that.
Well, Wemby taking less than the max deal that he could have gotten, I think shows that, he wants this team to stay together. And I really, truly believe that, all kidding aside, I really, truly believe he wants De'Aaron Fox on this roster as long as he can have him on this roster. I get the money thing, but you're not going to pay Dylan Harper for another 3 years. I think De'Aaron Fox's contract is up in the next 3 years. So, I mean, when you're coming off of Fox's contract, Harper should be starting his max deal. The only person that I've ever fielded was Stephon Castle. If Stephon Castle goes in, and he's not going to get a super max. He's not an all-NBA guy. He has to make an all-NBA team. He's not going to win MVP. He could maybe be defensive player of the year, but as long as Wemby's playing, I don't think he wins defensive player of the year. So he's not going to hit the awards and the accomplishments to get a super max deal. But does Stephon Castle leave money on the table the way Victor did? That's the question. And that's going to determine whether Stephon is all in or he's all out. That's what my determining factor is. And I think we'll find out when this summer, I think he's eligible. This summer coming up. He's
eligible, but they're not hitting that sweet spot where everybody's going to be wanting getting paid.
Yeah. No, not yet.
Now, you already bet one with Wemby. They took care of that. But remember, that was just his rookie extension, right? That's what it was.
It's the max deal coming off of his rookie extension.
We're not even close to the super max deal yet.
No,
jeez.
And I think Derek's the one that said that he's potentially, if he does sign another max extension deal, that he thinks that he'll be the first $100 million a year player.
No, I can see that.
So he'd be the first $500 million contract in the NBA National Basketball Association. Oh God, the times we're living in, Jeff. Did you
Oh,
ever think we'd be seeing $500 million contracts? And
at the rate this NBA is going, yes, I am not surprised.
oh man, money
You
is
think?
crazy.
You think the aprons are even going to stop this, because this is getting out crazy money?
Well, they want to get rid of the second apron. They're looking at potentially getting rid of the second apron, maybe even the first apron. They're like, well, if we can't go past this, and you're going to penalize us for this, that's not
I
fair.
mean, they might as well just do what the NFL does and just doesn't have any type of cap, right? The
Well,
NFL doesn't have a
MLB doesn't. Have a
MLB.
cap.
Sorry, my
Yeah,
mistake.
MLB doesn't have a cap.
Go route of MLB cap.
But then you go back to, well, the Lakers have all the money in the world. The New York Knicks have all the money in the world. Well, if you give them free will, there's teams out there that'll potentially sign every single superstar. And then you go back to a small market team, San Antonio. San Antonio can't afford a roster of, $60 million guys each. There's just no way that the whole family can afford that. I don't care who it is. So that's the part. No, I can't.
Right.
I had to go buy dinner tonight, so I won't be able to afford anything, man. This is Jeff Garcia. That was your Spurs Cheese, man. We got our first and only long commercial break here. When we get back,
LeBron James.
you heard him. It's going to be some LeBron James talk. Derek will be back next week. I'm curious to see what he says about this topic coming up with LeBron James, but nonetheless, Jeff Garcia, Rudy Campos Jr. We'll be right back. This is the Sports Answer, the Friday Night Drive. Again, we are not live. It's pre-recorded. It says it's live up there. If you're leaving comments,
live.
If you're leaving comments, we're not going to be able to post them or anything like that, because we're not going to react to them. Why? Because this is a pre-recorded show. But drop the comments anyway. We do read them. We'll be back.
Can I help you?
Yes, madam. I'm a roofing contractor, and I'm giving out free estimates to lucky homeowners today. Would you like one?
Nancy, don't do it!
Wait, who said that?
Up here, Nancy! I'm your roof! Be careful, that guy is not a roofer!
Yes, I am. And I have a brand new shining ladder to prove it.
Well, where's your ladder?
Right there in my truck. The one with the Michigan license plate.
Nancy, why don't you call Navarro Roofing? They're the ones who replaced me last time. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they've been in business since 1968.
I remember my dad used them to replace our roof when I was just a kid. I'm going to call Navarro Roofing. Besides, they did my neighbor's house, and it looks amazing. And the cleanup was excellent.
Before you let anyone talk you into a good deal, call the Chamber of Commerce and see if they're actually local. Navarro Roofing is local and supports our local business.
That's the best call I ever made. Thanks, Roof.
Don't trust out-of-state storm chasers. Trust the name Texas has relied on for generations. Call Navarro Roofing today at 210-680-5070 or visit navarrosroofing.com.
Looking for the inside track on the silver and black? From deep dive analysis to breaking news on Wemby and the squad, get it all at Spurs In Focus. Join veteran beat writer Jeff Garcia for the ultimate one-stop spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Subscribe now at spursinfocus.substack.com.
Billboards, gas stations, gyms, grocery stores, and more.
Salem Media puts your brand in front of San Antonio wherever life takes them.
Call 210-526-3626. Call 210-526-3626 and get noticed.
You know your business inside and out, but does your community? With Salem Media's podcast and video production services, you can share your expertise and connect with customers on their commute or wherever they listen. We handle production and distribution, so your content reaches the right ears on multiple podcast platforms. Stop letting competitors own the conversation. Call Salem Media today and ask about our local business podcast packages. Call Chris at 210-526-3631. 210-526-3631.
All right, welcome back to the Friday Night Drive. It's Jeff Garcia, Rudy Campos Jr., Derek Irvin will be back next week. We'll be live next Friday as well as of right now, but today it is pre-recorded, so if you are dropping comments, we are not seeing them right now because we are pre-recorded right now. It does say live, but again, don't be fooled by it. We're not live. We are pre-recorded. But just drop those comments again. Why? Because we'll get to them. We're going to read them, and we'll see them for next week's show. We'll get to them. Appreciate everybody that does watch the Friday Night Drive here on the Sports Answer part of Answer Now TV. And, well, first off, Jeff, I mean, you're a Cowboys fan. You got a quick prediction for the Cowboys? Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah, here's my prediction. Disappointment. Here's my prediction.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
I think, that's the old prices right there. Derek Gervin says they're going to be like a 12-win team, 11-win team.
I give them 10 or 11.
10 or 11?
Yeah.
I think I had him at 9 or 10. 10 at the most is what I had him at. It's going to be a tough season for Dallas. But then again, for all we know, it could be good. I have no idea. We're going to get into our football predictions next week here on the Friday Night Drive.
Texas got to be good, right? Texas.
So the Texans lost their second best receiver for the year, tore his ACL in practice.
Yeah. Oh, well, never mind. There goes that.
But their defense is still, really one of the best in the league. So I know people have the Texans coming out on the AFC side. I don't. I told Derek one time, but it wouldn't shock me if they did. But I don't think I have them coming. I have a Rams-Broncos Super Bowl. I think Derek has the same thing as well. So Texans are going to be good, but they're not going to be Super Bowl good. One thing is for sure, the Atlanta Falcons will never be good.
Yeah.
That's why I try not to talk about them.
Yeah, don't do that.
At all. One guy we always mention here on the Sports Answer from time to time is LeBron James himself. So this came out, and it's from a website, actually a Twitter feed, and I got it here a little while ago. But you can go on Twitter, you can find it there. And it says the real top 10 all time.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't our list, so again, don't crucify us.
Yeah, don't crucify Rudy now.
This is a list that came off, and as I'm looking back, and I'm trying to get the company here that week's. There it is. So it's at Today in Sports Co. So it's Today in Sports on X. This is a list that came from them. They were like, thoughts, and it could be theirs, it could be somebody else. I have no idea. They ranked Jordan Jabbar, Russell Chamberlain, Magic Johnson as the top 5, Larry Bird, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Steph Curry, rounding out the top 10. No LeBron James anywhere in the top 10.
Interesting.
So you can easily say, everybody, well, LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. You can say he's the second greatest player of all time. I've always looked at rankings, Jeff, as it is your own personal opinion, because we will never get decade versus decade to see who was the best. And Derek and I talked about it on last week's show when we said you've got to go back and watch a clip of the 60s and 70s highlights and see these players, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Kareem, Wilt, Oscar Robertson, these guys were doing back then what you see today. I mean, you think, Manu brought the Euro step. No, it was Elgin Baylor who brought the Euro step in.
Go.
Kawhi Leonard is probably the best two-way player we've seen when healthy. Elgin Baylor is the best two-way player healthy. I mean, he was one of the best defenders and offensive players of his generation. Then you go, okay, well, Will Chamberlain, I mean, come on. He was playing against guys that, were little plumbers and whatever. Well, no, he matched up against Russell and a lot of other guys, with similar belts, similar styles of game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, forget it. Throw the 100-point game out the window because supposedly there's no proof. First off, why would anybody make that up? But second off, the guy averaged, and it's in the stat books, 50 points a game in one season. So if a guy averages 50 points a game, the chances of him hitting 100 points in one game is pretty damn good.
Pretty good.
So this list, Jeff, I think for me, Tim Duncan is way too low. I would definitely put Tim minimum 5. I mean, I think I can make him a case to even go as high as 3.
Mm-hmm.
But he should be above Kobe. He should definitely be above Larry Bird. As much of a Larry Bird fan I am, should be above Bird.
You're talking about LeBron, right?
No, I'm talking about Tim Duncan.
Okay, Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. Honestly, I could put LeBron in the top 10. People do not like Larry Bird, but if you really study Bird, he's a top 10, maybe top 6 player of all time. I look at this list. I don't know if I can argue with it if it's their list.
I definitely would push LeBron over Larry. I think I would.
On what terms, though? Because prime Larry Bird makes LeBron James look like I could throw any name out there. Lamont Murray. I mean, I'll throw Lamont Murray out there.
Well, we're not looking at 1v1, looking at their resumes. I think their resumes.
Well, resumes, yeah. Remember,
Um,
Larry's one of the few guys to have a three-peat on the MVP vote.
fine, but who has more titles?
Well, obviously LeBron.
If we're gonna go title talk, that's a big check mark.
Okay,
Who on all-star appearances?
Well, I mean, you're basically giving Larry Bird, calling him a farce because of injury. I mean, if he was playing as many years, say you gave Larry a career like Tim or a career like Magic,
Heard Larry really didn't take care of himself in the offseason.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he smoked and drank beer,
and I think what a friend of mine who covers the Celtics said, ultimately, what doomed Birds in his career was, get this, helping his mom put a fence up in her yard, and he was doing it all, and that's what wrecked his back.
He hurt his back that way. Yeah. That's actually, I think, a true story. I do believe that.
So if I'm going to go with longevity, taking care of themselves, I mean, LeBron, longer career than Larry so far. That's the only player I can see flipping. Now, obviously, I think it'll get it reshuffled. I don't think, okay, well, I'm replacing Larry with LeBron, and he's number 6 now. No, I would push it down or further down.
So you would put Steph Curry over LeBron, even though they have
I'm just vault. Well, I don't know. I'll put Steph Curry
because Steph has 4 NBA titles, same as LeBron. He only has what, 1 MVP?
To 6. I would move Duncan up to 6.
He's got 2 MVPs compared to LeBron's 4.
I would move Steph Curry up to 9, and then I'll put LeBron at 10.
So you're telling me Steph Curry's better than LeBron?
Yes.
You said based off of resume, LeBron has a better resume.
Right. Well, I'm going to still go with resume. Okay. Then also on the resume, who's been with one team and who's never really title hunted.
That's a true fact. Okay.
Steph Curry.
So the only guy you would move over here is Larry Bird.
That's about it. Everybody else I'm good with. I'm good with all these here. I'm surprised they give Tim Duncan some love, man, because he doesn't get enough love as he should.
How far would you move Tim up?
I would move him to 6.
Okay.
So I will move him to 6.
Okay. 6th place. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this now and I'm like, man, I think I would go to 6. Maybe I could go. No, I said top 5. I can go top 5.
You would push him over Magic? If we're going resume, then probably, yeah. Resume, well, yeah, resume only. Well, I don't know.
Magic Johnson's the greatest point guard to ever play the game.
Power forward, quote unquote, to play the game is Tim Duncan.
This is what scares me is I can't put him above Jabbar, Russell, and Chamberlain after knowing.
I can't do that. No, I can't.
Knowing what I've seen, I mean, Spurs fans will put him over all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at Tim's career, I mean, 5 out of 6 titles when he had the opportunity. Never has had a losing record in his career.
Never
MVP under 50
twice.
games. Yeah, MVP twice. I mean, you got to look. Jordan, he played with the Wizards one year. Tim's played with only one team, San Antonio. Bill Russell played with one team.
Yeah.
Chamberlain's been with 2, Philadelphia and the Lakers. I mean, you're right. I mean, it could be 6. I'm fighting myself to get him into the top 5, and I don't know if you really can. And that's my thing is I don't even know if you can get LeBron. And I know you said Larry Bird, but I mean, you're talking about Larry Bird. Did he have a 13-year NBA career?
Yeah.
So in that 13 years, 12-time All-Star, back-to-back MVP, so a 3-time MVP, 3 NBA Finals MVP, or 2 NBA Finals MVPs, 3 NBA titles. I got it right here somewhere. 9-time All-NBA first team, 1-time second team, 3-time All-NBA defensive second team. I mean, that's a resume, man. That's a resume. But again, if you're going by titles, yeah.
I think I'm not trying to stir the pot here, but are we sure Jordan is number one?
No. I used to be dead set on Michael's
I keep on looking at that. I'm like, damn, Bill Russell can make a huge push for number one.
Kareem can make
or Kareem. Fine. Fine. Pick one of those two guys.
I love having this because Derek and I had the conversation last week, and I wanted to have it with you, and that's why I brought it up too. Is we are so dead set. You and me and everybody are trained that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. But if you really look at highlights, if you really look at stats and look at, everything, Russell changed the game.
Mm-hmm.
He was never, like he said, I'm not going to be the first guy, the first option on offense. I'm not going to be the first option on defense, but I will make a difference in every game.
Mm-hmm.
Russell did it in every way possible, especially defensively. Will Chamberlain is the most unstoppable force on both ends of the court that we've ever seen. You think Wemby doing what he's doing is amazing. Chamberlain is doing it, and he's not even a three-point shooter. And go into even more lore here, Jerry West, George Gervin, Elgin Baylor, a lot of these guys, Bob Cousy, they were scoring at will without a three-point line. And get this.
That's huge.
These teams who JJ Redick was crapping on everywhere.
I remember that.
Go back and look at scores, Jeff. Final scores were 140 to 130, 120 something to 118.
And again, as you said, no three line.
No 3-point line. So keep all that in mind. And you got to wonder, is Mike really the best? Is Kobe Bryant worthy of a top 10?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Steph Curry, he changed the game, but I think you can say, well, Bob Cousy did a lot more with less than Steph did. So, again, we're not crapping on the players.
Right.
We just want to put into perspective that who you think is the greatest of all time may not even be close to being the greatest of all time, because after seeing what I saw and now Jeff looking at the list,
yeah, I kept staring at him like, is we sure good with this?
You can't even say Mike is number one anymore.
My God.
You think it's time to change the idea of greatest of all time per decade?
I mean, but but does Kareem and or Bill have enough juice to push him down?
Kareem does, I think.
I think Kareem has the strongest one.
But then again, Wilt, Russell, 8-time NBA champion in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're never going to see 8 titles in a row again. I mean, I don't even know if you see back-to-back winners anymore in the NBA. So
I don't know. Yeah. We haven't had a back-to-back NBA champion in how long?
Who was the last one? Was it Miami? No, it wasn't Miami.
No,
was it?
Golden State?
Could have. Well, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
No, because I think
they lost. No, it wasn't Denver. I thought it was.
They lost to Cleveland. Golden State won, and then they lost to Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken, or Toronto. I think they lost to Toronto, because that was when Durant went out with that ACL.
Maybe it was the Warriors then, right?
Do you really think the Warriors won back-to-back titles?
I thought they did.
Let me see. Last team to win back-to-back NBA titles. It's a good thing about doing these remote. You're right. The Golden State Warriors in 2017, 2018. Wow. So already going to go up on 10 years since we've seen a back-to-back winner in the NBA Finals. But looking at the list, I mean, you can definitely push a couple of players down to make room for LeBron. But do you really want to? You're leaving out Jerry West. You're leaving out, Cousy.
Yep.
You're leaving out a lot of great players. And that's the sad part is lists when it comes to greatest of all time. Forget greatest of all time. Just give me your top 10. I mean, that's a difficult thing in it. Where's Hakeem Olajuwon for his dominance?
Dream, yeah.
Does Dream even make the top 5 centers of all time?
I think he does.
I mean, you've got 4 in this top 10 already.
I think he does. If it's just centers only, yes.
Well, Joker's the only one averaging a career triple-double, basically. MVP should have been a 3-time MVP winner. Actually, probably could have been 4-time MVP winner by now. Has a title under his name. Olajuwon does have, 2?
That's 2.
But
MVP, he has an MVP too, right? NBA MVP.
He's got MVP.
Yes.
But I think Joker has more. I'm not looking up the stats or anything, but I mean, does Joker get up there? I mean, this is what I love about debating, is that we're not going to argue over it.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to say, no, he should be here. This guy should be here. But when it comes to lists, it's literally just your own personal preference. You're definitely going to be thinking about this over the weekend. Because I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I'm thinking about MJ 1. Really, Kareem should be 1, maybe.
We've always said,
are you just going to flip Kareem and Jordan, or would you do Kareem, Russell, Jordan?
And you're going to disrespect Wilt Chamberlain like that? 50-point a game and 20 rebounds a game in a season?
How many titles did he get?
I will look that up right now. I think he got 1.
Yeah, see, that's a big ding on his
record. I think it was 1.
With San Francisco Warriors?
No, 2-time NBA title.
It's a 2, okay. It's still, still that I think Jordan
MVP.
pushes that. That's the argument big time in favor of Jordan.
So if we're doing resumes, Jordan beats Wilt. There's no doubt about that. But does Jordan beat Jabbar?
No. If resumes, yeah.
So, I mean, Kareem, his resume, we're going to go real quick. 6-time NBA champion, ties Jordan. I mean, Jordan has 6. 6-time MVP, most valuable player, which I believe Mike has 6 as well.
So it's close, buddy.
So, I mean, just in those 2 statistical categories, no, take it back. 5-time MVP winner for Jordan. Where Kareem is 6-time MVP winner.
Okay, little edge, Kareem.
Jordan has 6 MVP finals, where Kareem has 2 NBA finals MVPs. But again, then you're going to 10-time All-NBA first team for Kareem. Mike was a 10-time NBA All-First team, same thing there. Basically, resumes identical.
It's close, man.
Kareem, all-time leading scorer until LeBron took it over. Mike was never.
Yeah, Mike never got it, never sniffed it.
So, could you go Kareem, Jordan, Russell, or Kareem, Russell, Jordan? I mean,
is this Russell and his titles, man?
His titles, and then changing of the game. I mean, defensively.
Yeah, he was what? Russell. Man, Russell was ahead of his time. I think just like Wilt was.
Yeah,
Wilt was basically Wemby back in the day.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like, you can't discredit what Wilt did and these guys did back in the day because you just go look at the highlights. I mean, they dominated, but the ball moved so much that the game was so much easier for guys like that because the ball constantly moved. Bill Russell, 11-time NBA champion. Like I said, he had 8 years in a row or something like that when it came to winning. 5-time NBA most valuable player. Let's see, all NBA first team 3 times. I think only because they only, did it so many times and he was towards the end of his career. But the 11 titles and the 5 NBA most valuable players ties Jordan for that, outshines Jordan on NBA championships. Does he have the rest of the, no, Mike probably has a little bit more. But again, Russell, he did it against Wilt Chamberlain, one of the most dominant centers of all time. So it's so hard, man. And I'm glad, like I said, this is coming up and it's a good conversation to have because you can debate this all day. Does Steph Curry even believe in the top 10? I mean, he's a game changer, but Steph Curry doesn't match up to a lot of these other resumes. And then you say Larry Bird, but if anybody, you ask anybody about Larry Bird, they're like, oh,
those are the two questionable links on there. It's Bird and Curry. Those are the only two. Those are the only two. But the thing, who would you vault into those spots? Just even like if they're outside the 10.
Okay, so put LeBron in the top 10, and your number 10 is right there. Who do you put, Larry or Steph?
God,
I knew it was going to make it hard on you, man. You have one spot left, and there's
I
two guys
actually would go
bumping.
Curry. I think I would go Curry.
I mean, could you argue? No, I would go Bird.
I would go Curry.
I would go Bird, but then again, it's probably because what Bird did in less time.
Yeah.
Man, this is horrid. This is a horrid conversation to have.
It is.
It's a good way to end the show, man, because we got everybody to think about it over the weekend. Maybe I'll have to do a bonus weekend show just to come back to this and spend all the time in the world when it comes to stuff like this. Yeah, that is the top 10, and of course we were debating whether was going to be in the top 10. Jeff, appreciate you coming on, man.
Anytime, buddy.
About Spurs in Focus, because a lot's been cooking, but it's also going to start getting NBA season, which a whole lot more.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going on at Spurs in Focus. Obviously, you're watching the show today. You want to go earlier this morning and late morning. Rudy jumped on Spurs in Focus, where we also talk about the Bleacher Report article, get into some Spurs news, and Dylan Harper showing no mercy to anybody on the court. Anyone on the court. Go find out. Go check out Spurs in Focus and check out the new bumper. I think Rudy was jealous of it when I debuted it.
I need that bumper somewhere here.
I know you do. Yeah. But go check it out. Make sure to go to the Substack, Spurs in Focus Substack. It is completely free. Sign up right now. Just hit subscribe and you're in. That's it. That's all you got to do. And don't forget to go on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, podcasts, YouTube Music, YouTube itself. And go check us out. And I can't wait for next week because that's when Rudy and I will get back for our live show.
Yeah, we should be jumping on the live show next week. Again, you can find the live show on Spurs in Focus, but also on Answer Now TV. You can hit that subscribe button so you are not left out. Hit that alarm button and the alert button, notification, whatever you call it now. Hit those buttons. That way you can be notified when we do go live. So Jeff Garcia, Spurs in Focus. Derek will be back next week with me. We should be back on a live edition of the Friday Night Drive with more Spurs talk, more NBA talk, plus your NFL talk, because why? NFL season's already kicking off. Preseason is here. We're going to go division by division, put Derek on the spot, see if he really, really likes his Cowboys in that NFC East division. But shout out to Navarro Roofing, 210-680-5070. Salem Surround, 210-526-3635. Proud sponsors of us here on the Sports Answer. You've been watching the Friday Drive. And remember, if you have those sports questions, we've got the Sports Answers. We'll see you guys next week.
It.